दोस्तों, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। इस वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे इंडिया में एक रैकेट जो नोएडा और केरला से पकड़ा गया है, उसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे और कैसे इंडियंस जो हैं वो फेक डिग्रीज लेके तो वो वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में और मिडिल ईस्टर्न कंट्रीज में वहां पे अपनी जगह बनाते रहे और फेक डिग्रीज की बिना पे वो आज भी वहां पे काम कर रहे हैं। हमें बहुत अच्छे तरीके से पता है कि H1B वीजा जो है उसके ऊपर भी बहुत ज्यादा बहस छिड़ी। लास्ट ईयर उसके ऊपर बहुत सी कदगन भी लगाई गई यूएस की जानिब से इंडियंस पे। तो दैट हैज अ लॉट टू डू विद इनकी जो प्रैक्टिसेस हैं। ऑफ कोर्स ये फेक डिग्रीज के साथ और इवन इन दी हेल्थ केयर जो सेक्टर है उसमें जिस तरीके से इन्होंने पेनिट्रेट किया इन द वेस्टर्न जॉब्स, तो वो सारा इस वीडियो में उसके ऊपर बात होगी। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई जस्ट वांटेड टू टेल यू अबाउट हाउ मेनी ऑफ देम दे हैव बीन ऑफ कोर्स कैप्चर्ड सो फार। और ये एक ऐसा मुहिम्मा बन चुका है वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज के लिए भी, एंड आई एम प्रीटी मच श्योर दैट दे विल बी थिंकिंग अबाउट इट एज वेल, दैट व्हाटएवर इंडिया हैज बीन डूइंग with them, it's a scam. India as a nation, it has conducted this scam. If one or two people they do it, it doesn't matter at all. But when it comes to the whole nation approach, of course Indians they have been putting all of these efforts to make sure that the Indians they are getting spaces within the Western jobs, and that's why we are seeing now that so far the people who have been captured, a gang that is connected to another gang, and that gang is captured as well. They have produced more than 1 million of the degrees, fake degrees in the healthcare sector, nursing, doctors, and then engineers as well. IT engineers, they have simply given IT degrees, IT engineers degrees to someone who merely knew how to operate the internet. In the modern times, of course, people can operate the internets, and somehow with the short courses, they have been just providing them with the degrees of IT engineers and all of that. And we all know that how they have been creating spaces for themselves in the Western countries, especially America and Canada. I have all of these details with me, in which Indian investigation authorities they are probing it now, and this has been taking place since 2013-14. And since 2013-14, Indians they have been getting all of these fake degrees and all of these fake diplomas and getting jobs elsewhere in the world. And the countries that are under question right now, receiving all of these Indians working out there, uh, these countries are primarily US and Canada, and then UK as well. And then the Western countries, they have been getting the influx of the Indians with the fake degrees. And then Australia, New Zealand, all of these countries, they have been getting the influx of the fake degree holders of India. And if we talk about the Middle Eastern countries, the largest receivers were UAE. We all know how the cultural bilateral relations were shaping up as well in last decade. In this last decade, they have been the recipients of the largest Indians in terms of in the healthcare and the IT sector. And one wonders, why were the Indians getting all of these fake degrees? Of course, they could see uh, in terms of migration, they can migrate to the Western countries. They can migrate to Canada and America and Australia as well, and New Zealand. And in last 10 years, more than 10 years, more than a decade since Indians they have been, of course, applying this approach, and it's a nationwide approach which has been conducted by India as a nation. I mean, if Indians they have been sending the people with a legal framework, or with a valid papers, then that's all fine. I think every nation has a right to migrate if they want to, for the better opportunities. But when it comes to going to all of these countries with the fake degrees, I think it's a huge question mark on the credibility of India as a nation, on the credibility of India as a country, because it has been cheating, it has been scamming the Western countries and the all rich Middle Eastern countries as well, Gulf states. They have been, of course, the recipients. Saudi Arabia, then UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, all of these countries, they have been receiving all of the Indians with the fake degrees. And I'm not saying it. Of course, the Hindu, uh, the very first story I saw it was, of course, printed on the Hindu, which is one of the most prominent Indian newspapers. And then everyone followed after that, Hindustan Times, and then India Today TV, and then Republic as well. All of these channels, they are doing stories on this now, and it is gone viral, and it is worldwide news. And overall, the problem lies within India, and India is probing it now. And I was going through how much they were paying, and the degrees range from 20,000 Indian rupees to 4 lakh, depending on the course. BTech, BSc, B.Ed, MBA, all of these degrees, they were having a price tag on it. And that price tag, of course, ranged between 20,000 Indian rupees to 4 lakh. So it depends who's coming to get what kind of degree. And I was earlier reading through that it only cost them 70,000, 75,000 rupees to get a nursing degree. And all of the nurses or all of the medical staff you see in the Western countries or in the Middle Eastern countries, next time if you encounter anyone out there, try to first check their degrees, whether their degrees are all okay or they're just playing with your lives. So Hyderabad police, then Noida police, and then Kerala police, all of these police outfits, they are after these people now. Now it's too late. Reason being, more than a decade ago it all started, and they started handing out all of these fake degrees to these Indians, and millions of Indians, they actually left India and went to elsewhere in the world, mainly Canada, USA, UK, Western countries, Australia, New Zealand, and then the Middle Eastern countries as well. Middle Eastern countries is not a cup of tea, a hot cup of tea for all of them. Of course, they tried first to get into Americas or Western countries. Then, if they couldn't find any position out there, then they started going to the Middle Eastern countries. The racket, which has been, of course, caught now, they had an immigration outfit as well. That immigration outfit made sure that all of these people, they were getting visas for going in the Western countries, and them people, they are getting caught as well, and they were, of course, attached to all of these people who were handing over these degrees. And one university in Himachal Pradesh, it is being dubbed as a fake degree house. Reason being, in more than one decade, last decade, they have issued more than 35,000 degrees to all of these IT specialists and nursing specialists and healthcare specialists and doctors that are actually studying or that are actually working in the Western countries right now. So it is a huge scam which India as a nation, of course, conducted, and they have penetrated their own people for the sake of course, remittances. And of course, when it comes to remittances, all of these people, they send money back home, and they earn money, and they make that money available for the Indian economy, and that eventually becomes part of the Indian economy. So now everyone would, of course, raise questions about how India scammed the world to increase its economy. We already know that India is known for illicit means to enhance its economy. Uh, a Russian oil fiasco is not a old story. Of course, everyone knows about it. How they were involved in illicit trade of Russian oil. How they were buying crude oil from Russia during the Ukrainian crisis, and it was a leverage for Russia, and they were buying that crude oil with a very less amounts, and they were refining it at their own, and they were selling to Western countries. They were selling the same oil. So eventually, the Western countries, they were paying for the Russian war against Ukraine. And who was staging all of this, illicit trade? India was behind it. India was drenched into it, and that's why they were facing a tariff from the US. And now, of course, they are saying that they have reduced that buying from the Russians, and they are, of course, going to change it towards elsewhere in the Middle East or in the Western countries. But overall, they have been involved in all of these illicit ways of economy, and this is one of them. I mean, sending your workforce, the workforce that is not finding any jobs in your country, they are not finding any, any spaces in the universities. They end up paying money for the fake degrees, and with them fake degrees, of course, they know that it is going to get cross-checked within India. They can't find a job in India, and they end up getting a job in the Western countries. And one of the reports says that US, just about the US, I mean, in 2018, whatever the number was for the Indians to getting accepted in the healthcare sector of US, that actually reached to 200% increase in 2024, and which is remarkable. Of course, in 2025, we saw that there was a policy change, and that policy change has actually hit H-1B visas. And somehow, I think whoever came up with this kind of idea that they need to be checked, I think that was the right thing to do. Because overall, if we look at all of these people who got these degrees, I think it's criminal. You're trying to play with the people's life, and it's criminal to get a fake degree. It's criminal to apply for the visas with them fake degrees, and it's criminal to go out there and get a job. It's criminal to play with the lives of the people out there, and it's criminal to continue working on something that has very fake basis, very criminal basis. So all of these Indians who are still working in the Middle Eastern countries, who are still working in the European countries and North American countries, and the Australia and the New Zealand, their degrees, they need to be checked. Their certifications, they need to be checked. They need to be probed, because if this continues, then of course their own people, they are going to suffer at the hands of these criminal Indians. That's it, everyone. I think it was a very comprehensive story, and I hope you like this story. If you have any questions related to it, please do ask in the comment box. Take very good care of yourself.